Businesses are the cornerstone of GTA Online, and as a beginner, there is no more important choice you can make than deciding which one to buy. So to help you guys out, I decided to make a list of the top 10 businesses that beginners should buy in 2025 with some really interesting picks that I'm sure you won't be finding anywhere else. I should also mention that all of my picks here are going to be based on two key pillars. First, the business must be easy to obtain with minimal upfront cost, and secondly, it must also be easy to manage. There's going to be a nice mix of both active as well as semi-passive businesses to keep you entertained throughout your GTA Online journey, and as you'll see, some of these businesses also double as vehicles, so you're getting two things for the price of one. And speaking of 2 for 1, there's honestly no better way to start this list than with the awesome Acid Lab. I've spoken highly of both this business and the Los Santos Drug Wars DLC that it's a part of, and the reason behind that is the ease with which anyone can own this business. Not only do you get the Brigade 6x6 vehicle for free just by completing First Dose mission number 6, but you also get the Acid Lab equipment money from the mission payouts combined with the first time completion bonuses, and then you even get the equipment upgrade basically for free by doing 10 Fooligan missions for Dax, which pay you $500,000 in total, over twice what you need to install the upgraded equipment. As if that wasn't enough, you also get a free Ocelot Virtue, which is normally a $3 million electric hypercar if you decide to buy it from Legendary Motorsport. This thing has insane acceleration, all-wheel drive, and it also supports Imani Tech armor upgrades, so griefers will need to hit you 12 times with their homing missiles, and that's if they can hit you at all, because the Virtue can also be upgraded with the Imani Tech missile lock-on jammer to effortlessly swat away incoming threats. So yeah, the Acid Lab is awesome, not just because you're getting both a vehicle and a business for the price of one, but also because it makes up to $85,000 per hour passively with the production boost activated. And if you want all the details on how that happens, check out my full in-depth review of this business. Business number 2 on my list is the agency, and this is what you're going to need if you want to install the aforementioned Imani Tech upgrades on the Ocelot Virtue. Not just the Virtue, but any Imani Tech car, of which there are now plenty thanks to the Money Fronts DLC adding a bunch more. Imani Tech alone makes the agency a must-buy, as it's the #1 anti-griefer system in GTA Online, but the good news keeps on coming, because when you purchase an agency, you also unlock 3 unique ways of making money. Well, 4 actually, if you also count the office wall safe, but most of you will be using payphone hits, security contracts, and the Dr. Dre VIP contract to make millions of dollars every week with this business. And the awesome thing about the Dr. Dre contract is that while it takes roughly the same amount of time as Cayo Perico, maybe 10 minutes more, it pays $1.1 million guaranteed and has a much lower cooldown of just 48 minutes compared to Cayo's 2-hour and 24-minute cooldown for solo players. That alone makes the VIP contract far better for consistent solo grinding if you plan on doing multiple heists a day. And then to fill up the time in between cooldowns, the agency gives you those payphone hits and security contracts. Most of these will take 3 to 5 minutes maximum, and the cooldown for the security contracts is just 5 minutes and 10 minutes for the payphone hits. Once again, if you want a full breakdown of how to make loads of money with the agency, I've also got an in-depth guide on that business, so feel free to check it out after this video. Business number 3 is going to require a bit of grinding on your part, $2.2 million to be precise, because that's how much money you'll need to buy the Kasatka on Warstock Cash and Carry. But here's what you get for that money: a guided missile submarine, and more importantly, access to the infamous Cayo Perico heist, which is still the fastest way to make $1 million in GTA Online, even after all the nerfs, and that's with awful loot like the Sinsamito tequila in normal mode. On hard mode, you can easily make $1.1 million from the tequila and $1.5 million if you get the necklace. Needless to say here, Cayo's still really good today, not as spammable as it once was, but as long as you manage to stealth the whole finale, you can still make loads of easy cash, and it only requires an hour of your time. A lot of times, a lot less. The way I'd do it if I were starting out on a new account is first I'd farm 4 Cluck and Bell farm raids first to afford that Kasatka, then I'd do a couple of Cayo Perico heists to earn enough money for a Sparrow helicopter, because now, in addition to an excellent business, I've also got the second best grinding vehicle in the entire game, right behind the Oppressor Mark II. By the way, this can all be done in just 2 days, so if you're doing some kind of 0 to billionaire challenge, there you go. The Sparrow and the Kasatka will prove to be an indispensable tool in your journey, and you can have all of this basically right from the start as a beginner player. The nightclub is another excellent choice for new players, as it only costs $1.5 million on average for a decent location like Mission Row or Strawberry, and this is honestly a trivial amount compared to most other businesses, and yet it's the single best source of passive income in the entire game. And the way the nightclub works is you have 2 separate ways of earning money. First, you've got all of your legitimate income from ticket sales brought in by your DJ of choice, and this is tied directly to the popularity. So with maxed out popularity and that popularity bar, you'll make $50,000 every in-game day, or 48 minutes in real life through the wall safe. Then you have the basement storage section with the nightclub warehouse management. This is essentially a front for all of your other illegal businesses, like your MC businesses, CEO cargo warehouse, hangar, bunker, etc., and goods from those businesses businesses will also accumulate here. Now, once your storage is full, you can then sell those goods to a buyer. And the nice thing about the nightclub is that unlike MC businesses or the bunker, you will not get multiple sale vehicles. Instead, you get a Speedo custom if you have less than 90 crates, and a pounder custom if you have more than 180 crates. As for the mule, which falls right in the middle there, it absolutely sucks, so don't even think of buying that slow piece of trash. Instead, purchase the pounder custom, skip the mule, and that way anything above 90 crates that won't give you the Speedo custom will automatically default to the larger pounder. And you get the Speedo custom for free with your purchase of the nightclub, as well as the ability to purchase and customize the Terabyte, which is the best mobile headquarters in the entire game. So that's another pro of owning this business. The only real downside to a nightclub is that in order to make the most out of the warehouse section, you do need to own a couple of MC businesses, as well as a hangar and bunker, or even a CEO cargo warehouse instead of the hangar. That'll also work, but you need all of these ancillary businesses to get the other $50,000 per hour out of your nightclub, which is why I'd recommend holding off if you don't own at least a few of those other supporting businesses, or if you do buy the nightclub first without owning those, just don't expect to make the 100K per hour from this business. Number 5 on my list here today is the auto shop, which I really like for two main reasons here. First, it unlocks every single conventional vehicle upgrade irrespective of your rank, so you could be brand new to the game and you'll still be able to install things like level 4 EMS, race brakes, and swanky exhaust on your favorite cars. Secondly, in addition to all of the vehicle mods, the auto shop is an excellent moneymaker because you get these fun to play contracts, which are literally just mini heists that will take you 20 to 30 minutes and they'll pay you out $180,000 on average. Among these, the Union Depository contract is obviously the best one to grind if you just want to make the most amount of money, as this one pays out $300,000 for just 20 minutes of gameplay, far more than any other auto shop contract. But if you want to have some good old-fashioned fun, you should also check out the Prison Break contract, as that's really easy to speedrun. Same with the ECU job, as well as the Super Dollar deal, and maybe even the bank job as well. As an additional source of income, you can also get customer vehicle delivery jobs, which pay you anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 in profit simply for selecting a few options on an NPC car and driving it a couple miles to the customer. Auto shop properties are also all centrally located in Los Santos, and they cost anywhere from 1.6 to 1.8 million, so if you get one early on, do so. I promise you won't regret this business. And now it's time to talk about the hands-on car wash. This $1 million business is the perfect companion property for your MC racket, and here's why. You get a massive 35% buff to all counterfeit cash income just by owning yourself a car wash, which instantly takes that MC business from mid-tier to top tier. Then once you purchase the car wash, you'll also be able to buy two other properties: Smoke on the Water, a medicinal grass shop, and Higgins Helitours, which is a helicopter tours business. But you aren't buying these because they offer interesting job opportunities. You're buying them because they significantly improve the income from your grass farm MC business as well as your hangar profits. Smoke on the Water boosts all the sale values of your grass by 35%, and Higgins Helitours gives a 10% buff to your hangar crate value when you sell. So normally you get $2.5 million from a full hangar if you were to exclusively source 50 crates of narcotics, chemicals, or medical supplies. But if you own Higgins Helitours, you'll see that number go up by $300,000, up to $2.8 million in total from $2.5 million. And the car wash money laundering missions are also worth mentioning here, as these are the only business specific missions in GTA Online with zero cooldown, so you can literally spam them one after the other by calling RAF on your cell phone. You don't even have to be in the car wash to start these money laundering missions either. These pay a respectable $35,000, and on average in terms of time it takes to complete these, they take just 2 to 5 minutes. So if you have an oppressor or a sparrow, you could speedrun these. Once again, I have a full A to Z guide on how to buy and operate the car wash for maximum profits, so if you want the nitty gritty details, make sure to check that out after this video. I've already mentioned the hangar as something that benefits from the car wash, but it's also worth owning by itself even if you don't have the Higgins Helitours to boost the income, and that's because the hangar is probably the only way to have fun while grinding crates. Its missions are a lot shorter than the CEO warehouse source missions, and the process of selling your hangar goods is also much more streamlined compared to CEO special cargo. On average, source missions for the hangar shouldn't take you any more than 6 to 7 minutes maximum if you have a sparrow, which you should have if you're a beginner, and the sell missions will always give you exactly one vehicle as long as you're doing the land sell missions. So if you don't feel like ripping your hair out every time you press that sell mission, definitely opt for land sourcing over air sourcing. In my full hangar guide, I explain how to get the easiest source and sell missions and which hangar location is the best for grinding, topics that I simply can't fit into a list style video like this because it would take too long, but I hope that this convinces you to get yourself a hangar, as not only is it an excellent moneymaker with super chill missions, but it's also the only way for you to store and customize your very own personal aircraft in this game. And number 8, we've got the Darnell Bros Garment Factory, and this property opens up access to 4 unique FIB files, which are self-contained heists that you can initiate from an app in your phone. And if you're wondering why Rockstar hasn't given an app to every business in the game, here's the answer: money. They want to sell master control terminals, oppressors, processors, and terabytes with the use of shark cards, which to be honest probably won't happen as much if they just give you an app for your nightclub, an app for your MC businesses, an app for your bunker. It would just result in making the game too easy and players making money faster. Plus, people simply wouldn't engage with the free roam as much. They just sit around their apartment, buying resupplies on the phone, waiting for the product timer to fill out so they can go sell, while praying that they don't get spotted by a griefer on the way. Now, you could always hop into an invite-only lobby to bypass much of this, but it still won't really remove the time you spend traveling, which is why I recommend buying the Darnell Bros Garment Factory. What it does give you is access to the Bureau Tech in your terabyte, which means you can install the best master control terminal in the game on a vehicle that can be summoned to your location at any time. And the Garment Factory is also excellent in terms of content because all 4 FIB files are entertaining from start to end and shouldn't take you more than 30 minutes per mission maximum. Payout is typically $200,000 if you complete the optional objectives, if you do the 3 normal files, and up to $350,000 on the weekly priority file as well if you also complete the bonus objectives on that. And now for a business that's sadly underrated by many people, and that is the bunker business. Alongside the nightclub, this is possibly the second or third best source of passive income in the entire game if we also factor in the acid lab, because not only does the bunker generate money from resupplies, but it also gives you a dune loader full of excess weapon parts that you can sell every 48 minutes for $50,000. This requires no resupplies, no efforts from your end, just fast travel to your bunker every hour and grab yourself a free $50,000. Then if you want some extra oomph on your weapons, you can also dive into the research section of the bunker to unlock things like explosive rounds, which will make short work of oppressor and deluxo griefers in the free roam. The bunker is the only way to unlock the special ammo, and it's also the only way to own yourself an MOC, which you will need to upgrade weaponized vehicles like the weaponized Tampa and Vigilante, for example. So yeah, definitely get one of these if you're a beginner player as well. It offers so many benefits in addition to its already excellent money-making potential. And finally, for what might be the most expensive business if you choose to buy all 5 large warehouses, let's go with CEO Cargo. Depending on where you're at in the game, this can be both a beginner business as well as a high-end business that you buy after you've earned yourself $100 million, because the CEO warehouse requires you to first own yourself a CEO office, and then you'll have to invest in a warehouse to grind your crates. It operates similarly to the hangar, but the sell missions are a bit trickier, and sourcing is also going to take more time. However, with CEO warehouses, you can technically bypass all the grind by simply paying your technicians to source for you. Unlike hangar, you don't get penalized for sourcing different types of goods, and the warehouse staff charge you way less money than Rooster, which means your profit margins won't go down the drain if you choose this method. And also, a really good runner-up is probably an extension of the CEO office and sort of adjacent to CEO warehouses, and that's the vehicle warehouse, which I've covered in a guide here on my channel as well. But that's it for my top 10 business recommendations for beginner players. Quick tip before I leave here, I have made dedicated guides for every single business on this list except the auto shop and CEO cargo warehouses, so let me know if you'd like full videos on both of those businesses as well. Don't forget to drop a like on this video if you found it informative. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, specifically twitch.tv/hazardoushtv for more GTA Online money grinding live streams, and I will see you guys in the next GTA 5 online video. Adios, amigos.